Guys, Russia is running out of air defense systems, but you will not find an article with such headline in any of the world newspapers. And I don't know why when it is true. And it is very important for the understanding of two facts. Ukrainian counteroffensive is successful and Russia must and will be defeated. Let me tell you more. My name is Anna and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight informational war. It is very real. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status and hit notification button. And today we will speak about a number of fires and explosions deep inside Russia that happened during the last days because they decided to target our energy infrastructure with their drones, and Ukrainian armed forces and the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, have warned them. If you try to destroy Ukrainian energy system, you will get an answer. And this answer is very loud and clear. If you look at the newspapers, you will definitely see that in a number of Russian locations there were explosions and fires. Smoking epidemic, because Russians can never accept that it is the result of Ukrainian special military operation, and they say it's because of bad handling with something, because someone smoked and other BS. I don't mind, but what is important for me is the size of these explosions, the destructions caused to their military infrastructure, and that with each day it happens deeper and deeper in Russia. Subscribe if you want to follow Ukrainian way to the victory. Yesterday we had an urgent update on the explosions in Chelyabinsk, which is 1,700 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border. And the explosions were in the factory where they make tanks and engines and repair everything. And the explosion and the fire was huge. And tonight, Ukrainian drones reached Smolensk Avia plant and explosions were seen and fixed. The destruction is not that great, but this is a beautiful message. And what I like, you can find thousands of Russian videos with comments and people in panic saying, what is happening? How is it possible? Also, during these days, we had explosions and work of Russian air defense in Crimea, in Tula. And just last night, they spoke about the need for air defense systems to work in Moscow, Tula, Kaluga, and Bryansk region. Yes, I have them written on a piece of paper because there are many of them already and I cannot keep all of these Russian names in my head. I know yesterday many of you liked the joke, and I personally consider it not a joke, that I love learning Russian geography based on the map of explosions and destructions on their military plants and other stuff. So all of these places, like Moscow region where the airports were closed, like Tula, like military objects in Chelyabinsk. By the way, watch this vlog if you haven't, because I tell some facts about this very depressive, very criminal city, which is also known as a tank city, because most of Russian tanks since the Second World War are produced there. And Smolensk military object tonight, and I'm sure more and more to come. I'm also very proud that Ukrainian armed forces, not having long-range missiles, not having aviation, and not having permission to target our enemy's military objects inside Russia, has developed a solution. And what started as volunteer initiative turned into a very serious industry right now, and I'm sure in future you will hear about Ukrainian military drones more and more. We already have sea drones and the drones that can fly a lot. What also makes me feel satisfied is that perhaps we have partisans and supporters deep inside Russia too. But what is most important, Russia lacks air defense systems. Most of them were working on the front lines, backing up their infantry, backing up their artillery, which is understandable and a part of any war. Also, they had them in Crimea, but I'm sorry, the majority of their complexes, like super expensive, you remember complexes Triumph that cost billions of dollars, were destroyed, and now Crimea is super vulnerable because it is actually returning back to Ukraine. They have taken away most of Russian Black Sea Navy out of the Black Sea once again because it is very sensitive and vulnerable at the moment, and we can target everything. And they actually feel soon we will target the Kerch Bridge. It will be on fire, and I'm sure soon we will speak about that together and celebrate that. You remember Crimean beach party? I'm ready to party even in winter. What gives us this feeling? Russia has an idea to build an underwater tunnel and actually asks China to help it. Not very likely at the moment, but they realize that this bridge will not live long. And this is one more proof that they lack air defense. And recently in the news, we all learned that they have moved a lot of air defense systems from Kaliningrad to closer to some other Russian cities, maybe like Chelyabinsk, because Moscow, is more or less protected, but still, there were lots of explosions in the heart of Moscow and close to Crimea. Even if they did not cause destruction, could anyone imagine Russia on fire on the 24th of February 2022? No. The majority of smart people thought it will take Ukraine 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 months to retreat. You cannot retreat from your own country, but to give up. And here we see a totally different map of explosions. In Russia, war is returning back home. It is always like that. It is the rule. And Russia will have to taste its own medicine. Luckily, we are not orcs. We do not target maternity houses and kindergartens, but military factories, airfields, storages, or even military barracks. Well, people from that part are ready and travel to kill Ukrainians, so it's totally legitimate to stop them while they are still on Russian side. Anyway, I feel bad that you will not read much of such things in the newspapers, or you won't hear them on the news. I don't know why, because even if you don't trust me, you think that I'm Ukrainian, I'm trying to show it. Check and see how they move from Kaliningrad, which is actually not a very Russian city. I'm sorry, it was annexed after the Second World War from Germany. Previously, it was in Poland, in Prussia, in Czechia, but it's not, it is like outside Russia. If you look at the map, and they considered it a dangerous point because it's surrounded by evil NATO countries, biolaboratories, fighting mosquitoes, and other BS that Russia spreads about us and our allies. But now they are moving that air defense systems because they need them, they lack them. This is a very, very good signal, and they have to be prepared. Because Ukrainians are smart, Ukrainians are united, Ukrainians have friends among the other normal countries, kind countries, democratic countries, and we learn and we know how to give answers to those who want to offend us. You won't get Ukraine, you won't get democratic world, so be prepared. Be prepared to smoke more. Thank you so much for buying me coffees and becoming my patrons. Subscribe to my Instagram, Threads, and Twitter. Join my Discord community. And also today we have the last day of discounts in our merch shop. The link is in the description of this video. Minus 15% on beautiful sweatshirts, caps, pillowcases, cups, stickers, and other stuff that work well as conversation starters and reminders. Ukraine still needs your support on the way to our joint victory. Thank you once again for standing with us, and Slava Ukraini!